Ciao guys, welcome to another video. This one is pretty tight because today is the 27th of February and I'm supposed to go online with this video today. So I will talk and then jump editing and try to upload it before the scheduled time, which is 5:30 Central European time. So yeah, let's make it work. So I recently got some scans back from the lab, which made me think a bit more about what I'm doing as a photographer for work and as a content creator here on YouTube. In case you're new here, hi, my name is Alex. I'm a photographer slash filmmaker slash content creator, I guess. And recently, at the beginning of this year, I started shooting more on film. So the goal for this year is to implement more film photography into my work routine. And talking about film photography, I have to say, so far I learned a big lesson. Every day I shoot film, I learn something new for sure. But the biggest lesson that I've learned so far is to be intentional. Shooting film for me, it's the most intentional process that I've ever made as a photographer. Because I'm not like a fast piece shooter. To be honest, when I shoot film, I need to slow down a lot to compose better the photo, to be sure that I'm exposing properly. So every shot that I do is very intentional. And that reflected on my daily life. I'm trying to be more intentional with whatever I'm doing, whether it's making coffee or shooting videos like this one, or even just documenting my daily life. Yeah, that will probably change a little bit the kind of content that I will do on this channel and on social media like Instagram in general, but I will talk about that later in this video. For now, talking about being intentional and film, I have to say something. So far, I've calculated how much costs shooting film for me. So if we take like the cheapest roll of film that it's on the market, which is the Kodak Gold 200, for me at least, we are talking about $10 per roll. And then we have the scanning and developing process, which is from a lab with a scan size, like an M size. We are talking about $15. So, and this is not including the shipping cost of the rolls, because sometimes I deliver them by hand, sometimes I just ship them, but I will ship anyway more than one roll. But anyway, not counting that part, it's like $25 minimum per roll, which makes something like 70 cents per photo. And I never thought about how much does it cost a single shot that I do. Whether it's a good one or a bad one, it costs 70 cents minimum for me, at least. Talking about 35 millimeters, of course. And here the problem is not the cost, at least it's not only the cost. The problem is that every time I try to be intentional shooting film, I try to control the whole process. And every single time that I waste a shot, I want to control everything, all these moments. And I think I figured out what's the problem. And the problem is I'm a perfectionist. And I don't like to be a perfectionist. So just to give you a sort of example, a few weeks ago, I went to Milan, and the idea was to shoot some photos in the subway using Cinestill 800T. It was my first time using Cinestill 800T, so I had already a little bit of pressure because I don't know how it reacts on highlights, on shadows. So I was trying to expose properly the film, thinking of what can work, what cannot, of course. The idea was to make a photo walk for YouTube. So the idea was to make a YouTube video of me shooting Cinestill 800T for the first time. Yeah, I loaded the film. I spent the whole morning jumping between train station, finding very cool spots, to be honest. I shot very good photos. But the problem is, when I was loading the first roll of film, I was making a POV video and I didn't notice that I didn't load properly the film. And I discovered that later that day when I was finishing the roll. And to be honest, I had a feeling throughout the whole morning that something wasn't working pretty well with my camera because the advance lever was a bit loose. And yeah, so when I rewounded the film after 2 spins, it was totally rewound. So I opened the back and yeah, actually it was rewound. And I realized I didn't load it properly the film. So I went back looking the POV shots that I made. And yeah, I noticed that when I advanced the lever, the film sticked out. And yeah, I messed up. So after realizing that, I simply came back and shoot most of the same photos that I shot, but this time they were more architecture focused because it was a mix between architecture and street photography, but the street moments of course are gone because they happen in one single frame moment in the life. And yeah, I shot only the architecture images. And so far, I mean, the results are solid, to be honest. But this mistake made me question a lot of things. What changed was the meaning of the video, because I went out to shoot an entire video of me shooting Cinestill 800T, expecting some results. And when I realized I didn't met the expectations that I set on myself for that day, I simply felt bad, to be honest. All of that simply because I was setting expectations. So before moving on, I really need a good cup of coffee. So have you ever tried Japanese pour over? So in case you don't know what Japanese pour over is, it's a sort of iced coffee, but made in a Japanese way, of course. In this case, I put some ice in the server, which will count as water in the total amount. So in my case, I have 70 grams of ice and I want to extract around 250 milliliters of water. So, and I have 20 grams of coffee, medium fine grind size. I will do 3 rounds of pour over. Every round has to be done in 10 seconds, more or less. And I'm pouring around 50 milliliters of water each time. So now I'm at 100 milliliter of hot water. And so in total now is 170. So the last one will be an adjustment to reach the total amount of coffee. So in the meantime we wait. As I was saying, I find out I'm a perfectionist. And that means that if something hasn't been done at the 100%, I don't put it out. I don't share a video. I don't share the photos. And that creates a creative block. But I find out an important lesson. And this lesson, or this rule, it's called, let's say, the 80% rule. That means to do something at 80% and then sharing it. Like this video, maybe won't be perfect, maybe it won't be as I have it in my mind, but I will share it anyway, and I won't try to make it perfect. The last 20% will be repetition, will be putting out and learning from my mistakes. So instead of stucking on one single video, I will try to improve it the next time with my next video. By the way, I'm trying to do one thing. I got inspired by Tatsuki on YouTube. What is he doing is saving the papers, the filter papers. I don't know what I will do. I will try to scan them for sure to make a scrapbook of any sort. But I don't know, it's a nice idea. And so good, the coffee. After failing this photo walk, I realized that I put too much pressure on whatever I do. And I'm running 2 races at the moment. I'm trying to make it work as a commercial photographer, and at the same time, I'm trying to make it work on social media as well. I spent a year trying to make YouTube videos, and soon I will try to do something different on Instagram as well. And I don't want to feel this pressure anymore, so I want to fix some things. And yeah, of course, I don't want to feel pressure when I'm making YouTube videos, because for me, making YouTube videos, besides of course dreaming to make it a living out of it, of course, but making YouTube videos for me now, it's like my creative thing. It's something that I can do whatever I want just because I want to feel creative. And having pressure when you just want to be creative, when you're just doing your hobby, is not good at all. And I feel pressure for many things. First of all, it's not easy for me to talk to you in English because for now it's my only way to practice when I'm not traveling. And of course, I know I made a lot of mistakes, like grammar mistakes, and I know I'm not fluent, so I have to spend more time thinking about what I have to say, and that's why I used to make a lot of cuts in the video, for example. And on a photographic side, yeah, of course, I'm somehow scared of how people will react at watching my photos, at watching my videos, because as a creative person, I think it's normal to look for others' opinion. I know it's not good. I know that I need to create for myself, and that's what I try to repeat myself each time. I like the photos that I do, but at the same time, I think sometimes I want to be to another level. I have bigger goals. I want to do different stuff. Having others' opinion sometimes makes me feel better, of course. I just need to refill it. And that brings me to the next chapter of this video, which is what's next. The idea for YouTube, at least, is to try to do slightly different content. I want to do entertaining things. I want to make things that makes you feel light, that you enjoy watching. And I want to enjoy doing these videos as well. And the easiest way, at least for me, to do so is to take you along with me through my daily stuff. I will still talk about film photography, about tips and tricks and mistakes, but I want to do it in a lighter way. I want this video to be more entertaining, more light, something that you easily watch because you enjoy watching it, and not just because I'm teaching you something. I can teach and I can entertain at the same time. So that's the goal. I'm still trying to understand how to do it, but instead of overthinking and not acting, I will try to act each time and try to be better every single time. And I will try to do that as well on Instagram. So let's see how it will work. But yeah, I think it was fun to share this vlog style, yap content, whatever it is. I feel better to just sit here, drink a cup of coffee, talking with you, and just be open, because I don't want to be like, yeah, my life is perfect and everything is fine, when it's not. So yeah, I think I will see you in the next video. Ciao.